Alright, here it is, geometry students, the proof. It says ABCD is an isosceles trapezoid with bases AB and DC. The vertices of MNOP are midpoints of its sides. And then we get this instruction. Draw AC and explain why MNOP is a parallelogram. Do not list the givens. Mainly because we wanted to fit this all on one page, not go onto an extra page for this. Because normally, you would list the givens. So I'll see what I can do with this. Alright. So there is our diagonal. Not so cute. So let's see if I can get this piece out. There we go. It's a little better. Alright. Now, to succeed on this, we've got to see that by drawing that diagonal, what have we created? We've split this whole figure into two triangles. I'm going to outline one in blue, and then I'm going to outline another one in this deep red here for contrast. Notice they share the side AC, the diagonal that we drew. Alright, so do you see those two triangles? Hopefully you do. Because we also were told that these are midpoints, which means that I have a mid-segment here. That's a mid-segment of triangle ABC, and then OP is a mid-segment of triangle ADC. Alright, well, we know some things from lesson 7-6 about that. That means that MN is parallel to AC, because in the mid-segment theorem it says that the mid-segment of a triangle is parallel to the third side. The third side is the one that doesn't have one of its endpoints, so that'd be AC. Okay, so MN is parallel to AC. And OP is parallel to AC as well. That's by the mid-segment theorem. Alright, that gets us off to a good start. So, that's parallel to that one. This one's also parallel to that one. Then it says that MN is parallel to OP. Well, you can see that. And why is that? It's because in a plane, two lines parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. Not sure I can fit all that on here, but we'll try. In a plane, I might have to use some shorthand. Two lines parallel to a third line are parallel to each other. Sorry about the shorthand. To the third line are parallel to each other. Alright. So, we have established that, remember what they want us to prove, that MNOP is parallelogram. Well, we're partway there. We've shown that a pair of opposite sides are parallel to each other. So we got some ways we can show that. And this is how we're going to do that now. We use the mid-segment theorem for step 1. Well, what's the rest of the mid-segment theorem? We stated the first part was mid-segment of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of its length. Alright, so we can say that MN equals 1/2 AC and OP also equals 1/2 AC. I think You can see where we're going with this now, and that's by the mid-segment theorem. Oops, mid-segment theorem. Part 2, although we don't really need to say that. It's just mid-segment theorem. Okay. So now, what can we say? Look, here's 1/2 AC, and here's 1/2 AC. Two things. This was mentioned by Lincoln in the Lincoln movie, if you saw that. He's quoting Euclid. Two things equal to the same thing are equal to each other. And that's what we have here. Mn equals OP. They're equal to the same thing, 1/2 AC. Two things equal to the same thing, equal to each other. Thank you, Honest Abe, for making a presidential appeal to us that we could understand to use as a step in our proof. And we just call that substitution. Alright, now we've got our two sides, a pair of opposite sides, that are parallel to each other and equal to each other. That's one of our 5 sufficient conditions for a parallelogram. So now we can say MNOP is a parallelogram. This is what we were asked to prove. And that's because on opposite sides parallel to each other and equal to each other. Alright, so before we quit on this one, let's just review what we needed to be able to do in order to answer this proof. Because you'll have to follow a similar process on the test. Well, first of all, you've got to see that this diagonal we drew, AC, makes 2 triangles, and each one has a midsegment. And those midsegments are opposite sides of this quadrilateral MNOP. It's one pair of opposite sides. We had to know that. We had to know the midsegment theorem very well, because that was really the key. Once we had the triangles determined there, then we had to know the midsegment theorem. So that's the second thing we had to know. We really had to know the midsegment theorem. Third thing we had to know is that stuff on page 271 in the book, the 5 sufficient conditions for a parallelogram. Then once we had done these steps, we recognized that we had one of those sufficient conditions, so we could call it a parallelogram. And that's it. Good luck. I'm on your side. I want you to do well. So I hope you do. Make some good notes.